These 7 night signs confirm your rare destiny as a dark chosen ones. There's something about the night that speaks to the souls who don't belong to the ordinary. When the world sleeps, a different world awakens, one that doesn't obey the rules of daylight, logic, or linear time. If you've ever felt pulled by the stillness of 2 a.m., if your soul feels louder in the silence, if your dreams feel more real than your waking life, then you've already begun to walk the edge of this mystery. This is not just insomnia. This is not just anxiety. This is initiation. Because there are night signs that begin to appear when your rare destiny as a dark chosen one is being activated. And if even one of these has been calling to you, then you are not here by accident. You're being called. Let me ask you something. Why do you think your most intense thoughts hit you at night? Why do you feel a strange energy between 3 and 4 a.m., like something is watching not with malice, but with awareness? Why do your dreams feel like memories of a life you never lived but somehow remember? These are not coincidences. These are signals, these codes. You are being pulled by the gravity of something ancient, something that doesn't exist in the light of day. And if you have the courage to listen, to stop running, to lean into the discomfort, you will begin to remember what you truly are.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first night sign is the recurring sensation that someone or something is trying to speak to you when you're alone in the dark. You might hear whispers just on the edge of sleep. You might feel a pressure in your chest right before waking up. You may have moments where you see a shadow out of the corner of your eye, and yet you're not afraid. There's a familiarity to it, like it's come before. This is the first gate. The spiritual world speaks loudest when the physical world is quietest. And the beings who walk between realms choose night to initiate contact. But why? Because only certain souls are sensitive enough to hear. You are not being haunted. You are being activated. The second sign is vivid, intense, and sometimes terrifying dreams that feel like downloads, as if someone is showing you hidden truths through symbols, faces, and places that don't exist here. Sometimes you wake up sweating, heart racing, not from fear but from revelation. You've seen something, you've felt it, something ancient, something real. But these dreams aren't random. They're encrypted messages from your higher self, your guides, or even your past incarnations. And the more you ignore them, the louder they become. Start keeping a journal. Write down everything, even the nonsensical. There are patterns. There are prophecies hidden in the chaos. Are you paying attention? The third night sign is a growing discomfort with artificial environments. Bright lights, loud places, shallow conversations. You find yourself craving darkness not because you're depressed, but because it's in the dark that you feel most like yourself. You want to light a candle, sit in silence, and just be. You find comfort in shadowy corners, in the moonlight, in the solitude the night gives you. This is not isolation. This is return. You're realigning with your soul's original frequency, a frequency that was never meant to be diluted by the noise of the world. Darkness is not your enemy. It's your home. The fourth sign is the sudden rise in synchronicities that only happen after dusk. You might see the same number sequences every time you check the clock at night: 1:11, 3:33, 4:44. You might get chills at strange moments, or hear songs that speak directly to your situation the moment you're thinking about it. These are not glitches. This is the universe speaking in code, and those codes are tailored to you. No one else hears what you hear. No one else feels what you feel. That's why this path is rare. That's why you must trust your own interpretation, even when it makes no sense to anyone else. The fifth sign is a deepening emotional intensity that intensifies after the sun sets. That you feel everything more, not just your own emotions, but the emotions of others. You become hypersensitive, almost empathic during the late hours. You can sense moods without words. You can feel the energy of a room even after everyone's left it. This is not weakness. This is radar, and it's being sharpened for a reason. The dark chosen ones aren't meant to just awaken, they're meant to see what others can't, or to feel what others deny. Because only through that depth of perception can transformation happen. You're not too sensitive, you're just tuned in to a deeper broadcast. The sixth sign is an inexplicable pull toward ancient knowledge, occult texts, forgotten mythologies, esoteric symbols, hidden histories. You don't want surface-level answers anymore. You want the source. You want truth, even if it burns everything you believed before. And most of this curiosity strikes you at night. You find yourself scrolling through hidden forums, reading forbidden books, feeling like you're remembering something rather than learning it. That's because you are. You've walked this path before. You've studied these mysteries in other lifetimes. And now the veil is thinning. The memories are leaking through. Can you feel it? That strange sense of déjà vu when you read something ancient. That's not your mind. That's your soul nodding in recognition. And the seventh sign, the most powerful of all, is the subtle, yet unshakable knowing that you are meant for something more. That your life has a purpose no one else can define. That your pain wasn't random. Or that your gifts aren't accidents. That everything you've been through, every betrayal, every breakdown, every sleepless night was a setup, not a setback. Because the dark chosen ones aren't born in ease. We're born in fire, initiated through loss, forged in solitude. And when the world finally sees us rise, they'll call it overnight success. But we'll know the truth, that it was the nights that made us. So I ask you now, from one awakened soul to another, what if the very things you've been hiding from in the night are the keys to unlocking your rare destiny? The awakening after midnight, crossing the threshold of the hidden path. There is a sacred hour, one that most people sleep through, unaware of the quiet miracles and inner initiations unfolding in the dark. But you've felt it, haven't you? That strange pull after midnight, when the world feels thinner, quieter, like a veil has been lifted. This is the moment of the hidden path, the gateway to the deeper self. It's when time stops obeying its usual rhythm and something ancient begins to stir beneath your skin. You thought you were just restless. You thought you were just awake. But the truth is, something is awakening you. When the night becomes your sanctuary, your temple, your mirror, everything begins to shift. You start to see your thoughts not just as noise, but as messages. You begin to feel your body not just as flesh, but as vessel. Your heartbeat becomes a drum. Your breath becomes a chant, and silence itself becomes a teacher. The world outside may still be asleep, but inside your soul is on fire. You start to realize that your insomnia isn't a disorder, it's a calling, a summons, a sign that your soul is ready to break free of the illusions that held it captive. This is when the hidden path begins to unfold, not in grand revelations, but in whispers. you'll start to notice how old beliefs begin to crumble. The things you once chased no longer excite you. The people you once needed now feel like echoes. You begin to crave something deeper, something real. And though you can't name it yet, you know it's real because it haunts you. It shows up in symbols, in dreams, in the quiet ache that pulses in your chest when you look at the stars and feel like you're remembering something you never learned. Crossing this threshold means letting go of who you thought you were. It means shedding identities that were never truly yours. You're no longer interested in playing roles. You'd rather be misunderstood in your truth than praised in your mask. And that's terrifying. That's lonely. But it's also the beginning of power, the kind of power that can't be bought, imitated, or destroyed. It's the power that comes from becoming whole again. You'll begin to notice that your energy becomes more magnetic at night. You speak less, but your words carry force. People might feel drawn to you but unable to explain why. It's because you're starting to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. And that remembrance sends out a signal, a frequency that only other awakened souls can hear. You're becoming a beacon for those who are ready. But first, you must become a beacon for yourself. This path will test you. You'll be tempted to go back to sleep, to numb the calling, to pretend that the signs were just dreams, just coincidence. But a deeper part of you knows better. You didn't come this far just to return to a life of forgetting. You came to become, and becoming means breaking. It means burning. It means waking up at 3:33 a.m. with tears in your eyes and fire in your spirit. It means choosing truth even when it costs you comfort. It means stepping into your destiny without waiting for permission. So let me ask you something only you can answer. What are you still pretending not to know about who you really are? The Soul Forge, how the night refines the warriors of destiny. There is a reason the night feels heavier when you're on the verge of transformation. The darkness becomes thick, almost alive, wrapping around you like a cloak and a crucible at the same time. This isn't punishment. This isn't coincidence. This is the Soul Forge. This is where the dark chosen ones are refined not by comfort, but by fire, not by applause, but by silence. If you felt like you're being broken lately, like everything around you is crumbling without explanation, understand this: you're not falling apart. You're being reconstructed from the inside out. The night is not just a backdrop, it's a sacred technology. It strips away distractions. It forces you to face yourself without the filters of daylight, without the noise of society, without the roles you play to survive. In the dark, there's nowhere to hide. That's why most people fear it. But you were born for this. You didn't come here to stay hidden in the safety of the herd. You came here to become dangerous to the illusion. And that danger begins in the forge, in the fire, in the night. Every breakdown you've endured, every emotional collapse, every sleepless night where you felt like screaming into the void, these weren't failures. These were initiations. The soul doesn't evolve through comfort. It evolves through pressure. The same way diamonds are formed under crushing force, your destiny is activated under spiritual weight. You were never meant to be ordinary. That's why the path has never been easy. The universe has been sharpening you, stripping away what's false, so what's eternal can finally emerge. And here's the truth no one tells you: suffering isn't the opposite of awakening. It's the catalyst. The nights you thought would destroy you were actually the moments your true self began to awaken. You've been downloaded with codes in your pain. You've been upgraded through your tears. And now you carry wisdom that can't be found in books or bought in courses. You carry earned truth. And that truth is what makes you a threat to the system that thrives on unconsciousness. But power without refinement is chaos. That's why the soul forge is necessary. You must be shaped, tempered, taught how to wield your energy like a blade, not to cut others, but to carve a new path through the illusion. And that's exactly what's happening. Your triggers are your teachers. Your wounds are your blueprints. Your emotions are sacred maps. Every time you sit with your pain instead of running from it, you gain mastery. Every time you choose presence over escape, you reclaim a piece of your soul. In this phase, you might feel like you don't belong anywhere, like no one understands you, like your old life is dissolving and your new life hasn't yet begun. This is the in-between, the cocoon, the sacred void. And it's here, in this space of nothingness, that everything is reborn. Don't resist it. Don't rush it. Let it work on you. Let the night teach you what the day never could. Because when you emerge from this forge, you won't just be awake, you'll be activated. You'll move through the world differently, quieter but deeper, softer but more powerful. You'll no longer be addicted to validation because your worth will be rooted in your essence. And from that place, your destiny won't just call to you, it will demand you. And you'll be ready. So I ask you now, Brit, can you sit with the fire long enough to become the weapon your soul came here to wield? The night crown, owning the power that was always yours. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when the night no longer feels heavy, the shadows no longer intimidate, the silence no longer feels like a void, but instead, the night becomes familiar like a throne room you forgot you built. And on this night, perhaps one light tonight, you finally realize the darkness was never your enemy. It was your mirror, and the weight you carried wasn't a curse. It was your crown. You see, the world taught you to be afraid of your own power. It told you to shrink, to soften, to stay digestible. It told you to be light, but only the kind that doesn't blind. It praised your silence when it served others, but punished your voice when it threatened the illusion. And for a while, you believed them. You tried to fit in. You tried to be normal. You tried to be good. But the truth kept whispering beneath your skin. The night kept calling. And now, you remember. You were never here to play small. You were never here to be agreeable. You were chosen not because you were perfect, not because you were pure, but because you were real. You were forged in pain, sharpened in silence, and baptized in solitude. And now you wear the night like a cloak, not to hide, but to reign. You've crossed the threshold. You've survived the soul forge. And now the final initiation begins, not to earn your power, but to own it. Owning your power doesn't mean domination. It doesn't mean ego. It means alignment. It means finally trusting what you know, even when no one else sees it. It means walking into rooms without needing to prove your worth. It means speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes. And more than anything, it means letting yourself be seen not as an idea, not as a mask, but as a living embodiment of everything you've endured, remembered, and become. This crown doesn't glitter, it glows. It pulses with the energy of every night you thought would break you. It's made of every secret you kept, every emotion you buried, every truth you whispered to yourself in the dark. And now it rests above your head, not given to you by the world, but claimed from the ashes of who you used to be. People may still misunderstand you. Don't let that stop you. They may call you too much, too intense, too strange. Let them. You're not here to be understood by the asleep. You're here to activate the ones still dreaming. Every time you live your truth without apology, you send out a frequency, and that frequency awakens others. Not with noise, but with presence. Not with preaching, but with embodiment. And here's the deepest truth: you were always chosen. The signs were always there. The sleepless nights, and the strange dreams. The sense that this world isn't the whole story, that your life has layers encoded within it, and that your pain had purpose. You didn't imagine it. You didn't make it up. You've been walking a sacred path all along. The difference is now you see it. So what happens next? That's up to you. But know this: the crown is already yours. The power is already within you. The night has already revealed its secrets. Now all that's left is to live it. Walk like you remember. Speak like you know. Love like you're infinite. Because you are. And so I leave you with one final question, the kind of question only a dark chosen one can answer. If you stopped waiting for permission and simply lived as if your soul was already free, what kind of world would you create? Your time isn't coming. It's here. The night has crowned you. Now rise